In this lesson, we will finish our menu scene. So let's get started. Select our panel hole scale game object and make a duplicate and rename it to panel hole move up. Change animation type to rect transform and also change axis X to 0 and Z to 0. Now press preview on and change from value to 0.5 and also change to value to 700. So our animation will go up. Let's turn off the preview. Select button X game object and make a duplicate and rename it to button yes. From the menu, select button yes and drag and drop it to our myButton variable. First, let's create new event. Let's drag and drop the same button yes on it and let's make button non-interactable. Create another event. And now let's drag and drop PG game object on it. And from the function menu, let's choose driver run backward. And we are doing it because when we press yes, we want our background to fade out. And also we will be restarting our scene, so the background animation will be seamless. Now let's create again new event. And now drag and drop our panel hole move up on it. And from function menu, let's choose driver run forward. Now, because we want to reset our scene when we press yes, we need to create new script. So let's select our script folder and let's create new script. And let's call it restart scene and let's open it. Clean the file. And let's add namespace unityengine.scenemanagement. Create new method called public void restart. And inside, let's write sceneManager.loadScene. And the parameter will be sceneManager.getActiveScene.name. So basically, when we run restart method, the current scene will be loaded. Let's save the scene, change the color, and we can test it. First, we need to add our restart scene to some game object. So let's create one. Let's call it Scene Manager. And let's drag and drop our restart scene on it. Now we need to think where we want to put this event. And we don't want to put it to our button yes click events because the scene will be restarted immediately after we click. And we want to trigger it after our moving up animation finished. So let's select panel hole move up game object. Let's expand settings and events. Let's create new end event. And let's drag and drop our scene manager on it. And from function menu, let's choose restart scene and restart. Now we can try it. First, press our red button. X is working. Now let's try yes. And we see everything works how it should. Let's do it again. Nice, our scene is restarted. Let's stop the scene. Now we need to create our button no animations. Let's select our parent single and create new game object. And let's call it panel hole move down. Let's add driver component on it. Change the duration to 1. Let's add controller transform component. And let's select panel hole from our menu and drag and drop it to our myTransform variable. Change anim type to rect position. Turn on and off our preview so we can see our initial values. First, let's change our axis so only y will be 1. Now let's change our from value to 0.5 and our to value to -700. Let's preview it and we see we need to lower it even more. So let's write -750. Now test it and we see it's working. So turn off the preview. Now we need to create our button no. So let's select our button yes and let's create duplicate and let's rename it to button no. Let's select button no from the menu and drop it to my button variable. Let's create new event and let's also select the same button no and drop it on it. And let's also make it non-interactable. Create another event and this time select panel hole move down and drop it on it. And from the function menu, let's choose driver, run forward. Now let's create third event. Select button right animation and drop it on it. And from function menu, choose driver, run forward. So our button right will appear on a screen. Now let's create fourth event. Select our button right from menu and let's drop it there. From the function menu, choose button interactable and let's turn it on. So our right button will be again clickable. Now we can test it. So press play, press right button, press no, press right button again, and now we see a problem. Our panel doesn't appear again. And what we can see in a left viewport is that our panel is down, so it's not restarted. And also our list player for panel animation should be restarted. So let's fix it. Turn off the play button. Select our panel hole move down. Expand the events. Let's create new end event. And let's first drag and drop panel hole anims list player on it. And from function menu, choose driver list player and reset progress. And let's turn it on. Let's create second event. Select panel hole move down and drop it there. And from the functions, choose driver and reset progress. Last thing we need to fix is our button no clickability. So let's do it now. Select button right game object and create new event. From the menu, select button no and drop it there. And from the functions, let's choose button bool interactable and keep it on. And now we can finally test it. So press play. And let's try all the buttons and all the combinations. And we see everything works perfectly. So that's it. We built our first animated menu. Thank you and see you in the next lesson.